gonna make this quilt block. This is a Lemoyne star. It's a classic. And I'm gonna make it with half square triangles. Are there other ways to do it besides half square triangles? Yes, but I'm gonna do it this way, all right? Here's what you're gonna need to get a 10.5-inch Lemoyne star block to put into a quilt or put on a pillow, I don't know. You need 2 different patterned fabrics. A light and a dark usually looks good, but contrasting is all you really need to worry about. Of each patterned fabric, you need 2 5-inch squares. I'm doing this size specifically in case you, a beginner quilter, wants to use a charm pack. What's a charm pack? It's a pre-cut 5-inch squares. Okay, get with it. There's the other ones. 2 and 2. You also need 2 5-inch pieces of a background fabric. I'm using black, like my heart. And finally, you need 4 3-inch squares of that same background fabric. Let's jump into the construction. You're going to take your 2 pieces of patterned fabric and you're going to put them out like this. You're then going to take your background fabric, the 5-inch squares that match these sizes, and you are going to put 1 piece of background fabric on top of each of your patterned squares. So you've got 2 of your pattern squares with a piece of background fabric on it. These are right sides together. That means pretty sides together. And then you have 2 more that are sitting here like, what is our purpose in the world? Let me answer that. You're going to take these 2 and you are going to put them together right sides. So you have now 3 piles that you need to deal with. Head to your sewing machine and using a straight stitch with a 1/4 inch seam allowance, you're going to sew around all 4 sides. You are sewing these completely together. Bye, closed for business. These are all sewn together. Now we need to cut them all up. My seams look a little bit booty. I'm not gonna lie to you. I just got a brand new sewing machine. I'm still learning how to use it. I don't know what to tell you, okay? It's going to make the next step after this even more important because my seams are kind of wonky. And you know what? If you're brand new, your seams might be wonky too. So you're welcome for going through this with you. Using a rotary cutter and a ruler, we are going to cut these diagonal both ways. If you don't have a rotating cutting mat like I do, that means you need to be careful when you are turning this, you little psycho. Keep that lined up. It's important. If you find yourself in a situation where something didn't cut like that, don't sit there with your rotary cutter and try to chop it like a pizza. Get some scissors and get that little piece, okay? You're welcome. I just saved you from something up for no reason. I really should get a rotating cutting mat because I'm about to make a whole quilt of these Lemoyne stars, and it would make my life easier, but you know what? You don't need to own every single little cool thing just to be able to quilt. So you got all these triangles. What are these? These are half square triangles, you little goofballs. We need to square these up now though. Like I said, my seams were a little bit bullshit, but even if they weren't, it's important. Your quilt blocks come out better if you just take the time to square it up. I know, it's tedious. I'm gonna show you 2 methods: triangle, square. If you're gonna use a square ruler, you need to take your half square triangle and you first need to press it open with your iron, pressing the seam over to the darker side of the fabric. With it pressed open, you're gonna take your square ruler, and I say square ruler, I really recommend a quilting ruler. Quilting rulers very often, and the one that you're gonna need, will have a 45-degree angle on it. That's for shit like this. We want a 3-inch square, so I'm gonna find 3 and 3. That is what I need my piece to fit into. This 45-degree angle, I'm going to line up with the angle in my piece. So I'm lining the seam up with my 45-degree angle, and then I'm going to take my rotary cutter and I'm just going to trim off the little bits of fabric that were making this knot 3 inches. I'll turn it around and I'll just double check from this side that it all still looks nice. Trim off this little tail right here. And now I have a nice 3-inch square. That's method 1. Method 2, you take your little triangle and you don't press it yet. You use a triangle ruler. Triangle rulers have a bunch of markings also, they're rulers. But I'm gonna look for the 3 marking. I'm gonna take that 3 and I'm going to line it up with my seam on here, not the bottom of the triangle, the seam. Putting that 3 line right on the seam, and I'm going to cut off the excess fabric on either side. Now I'll press this open towards the darker fabric, which they're both dark on this one, doesn't really matter. You can snip off the little dog ears, or what did I call it before? Tail? Oh. And this too has left me with a 3-inch square. So 2 different methods, same result, whatever you like better. You're gonna take all 12 of these and you're gonna square them up. Ooh, oops. All right, I'm bringing you closer to the action so that you can really see what I'm about to do next. Right here, I have the 12 half square triangles all squared up 3 inches each. I have them now in matching piles. So 1, 2, 3, 4, all of the same looking fabrics. I also have the 4 3-inch background squares that I brought up earlier that you were going to need. Now these are coming into play. So this block is made up of 4 identical quadrants, 4 like arrows. So this is what I mean when I say quadrant, this piece right here. We need to make 4 of a piece that looks like that. So in piles, I'm going to just build that here. Our background pieces are in the corner. I'm going to do the light piece on this is my left of the corner piece. I'm going to do the darker pattern piece below the corner piece. And then you're going to take the half squares that are both different patterns and you're going to line them up so that they match. This is wrong. This matches. This is right. This is 4 identical piles that look like this. 4 quadrants, 4 piles. Okay, you're going to take these to your sewing machine and you're going to chain piece. So let's go and do that now. So here are my 4 piles. I want to chain piece these so I can get these 4 quadrants together as quickly as possible. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first sew these top 2 together and then I'm going to sew the bottom 2. And then I'm going to go top, bottom, all 4 times. I'm taking my background square and I'm taking this pattern and background and I'm putting them together and I'm going to sew it 1/4 of an inch up this right side. Now, instead of cutting off my thread here, I'm chain piecing, which means I'm taking the next 2 that I'm sewing together, which is this background and pattern, and then these 2 double pattern. I'm putting this one right sides together, and I'm just going to get this under my sewing foot, and I'm going to keep rocking forward. That is chain piecing, and I will show you what this looks like when I get to the end of it. But I'm going to keep on this pattern. 1, 1, 1, 1. All right, so these are chain pieced together. You see the chain? Pretty cool, huh? So we did it top, bottom, top, bottom, top, bottom, which means now we can take this chain and we can clip it every 2 blocks. There's 2, there's 2, there's 2, and there's our last 2. Each one of these sets of 2 now should open up and be our arrow, our little quadrant we're going for. So next step is we need to sew them together this way. To reduce bulk, you want to get these 2 seams facing different directions. And I haven't been using pins up into this point, but I am going to insist you use pins now. You really want these seams here to line up. If they don't line up good, then your arrow is going to be all wonky and look like ass. So line up these seams, finger press them to go opposite directions, and I'm going to personally use 2 pins, one on either side of the seam, to really make sure that this lines up when I'm sewing it. I also recommend that you put pins at the corners. That way this entire little block here sews together nicely. Okay, these are all done. Let's chain piece. Ooh-wee, these are crispy, clean corners. My teddy bear fabric here is directional, and it's looking a little strange in this star, so perhaps a lesson for me at a later date that directional fabric is not the best. All right, these are pressed. Now we build the star. Like, hello, there it is. I already mentioned that I have a brand new sewing machine, so my seams are a little wonky, and I'm feeling tempted to square these up before I finish this up. You can skip that step if these all seem like the right size, but it's something I'm gonna do because I don't want to be like, here's the end of the tutorial, it looks like shit. Each one of these quadrants is supposed to be 5.5 inches, so let me just square that up really quick. All right, we're gonna take these arrows to our sewing machine and we are going to put them together like this, so. And then when they're together, you're going to go so. Once again, I'm insisting you use pins so that your triangles line up. These are chain pieced together. They open up to be half the block. Whoops, upside down. This is why you always want to open up your chains before you just start sewing them together. There we go. Let's do the last bit. So help me God, if you skip pins right here in the middle, ta-da, it's done. I did it. You did it. Hey, we did it. If you like this, like the video and subscribe to my channel. And, you know, I'll be here making more tutorials for you. Like and subscribe, please. It helps me. Like and subscribe for more quilting content from me and blah, 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 blah. What, happy quilting? No, I don't know. I don't really have a sign off yet, so bye.